honorable ministers here present, my good friend, the Executive Secretary of IGAD, Mr. Vincent Bwire, representing Honorable Rebecca Miano, the Cabinet Secretary of Tourism and Wildlife from Kenya, who was supposed to be here, and her absence really is a distortion to the gender balance among the ministers that is being felt, but we understand why she had to go back. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to join you today for the ministerial session of the launch of the IGAD's Sustainable Tourism Master Plan 2024-2034. I wish to extend my appreciation to the governments of Ethiopia and all the IGAD member states, and to the partners who have worked tirelessly to bring this vision to life. I also particularly wish to extend my thanks to the Executive Secretary of IGAD for the excellent coordination and leadership in furtherance of the IGAD's objectives, including this one that we are launching today. Distinguished delegates, excellencies, the complex macroeconomic climate and access to financing challenges facing Africa today demand that we must leverage all our resources for economic development. Shrinking economic space that has seen nearly 40% of African countries in high or at risk of high debt distress is further compounded by unpredictable climate events that is now eroding an average of 5% of our GDP annually. Just to give you an example, the current debt situation on the African continent is now $1.1 trillion US. And all the African countries combined are spending almost $163 billion US just to service the debt every year. And that has implications, of course, on the foreign currency, as you all know. And that's why the tourism comes as a solution, because as we pay the debt, we pay it in foreign currency, and that means eroding our own reserves on the continent. And in IGAD, of course, you understand it better than anybody else. And that's why promoting tourism becomes very, very important. So we do not have the luxury of seeing the tourism sector just as any other simple industry. On the contrary, it is a gateway to economic prosperity, cultural exchange, and sustainable development. And it holds a great potential for Ethiopia and the entire IGAD region. It is also a source of significant job creation for Africa's growing youth economy. Let me provide some global context. In 2019, international tourist arrivals reached 1.5 billion people, contributing nearly 9 trillion to the global economy. Despite the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, which led to a 67% decline, the sector has demonstrated its resilience. For Africa, we reached 92% of pre-crisis tourist levels by 2023, contributing significantly to GDP and employment. Moreover, Africa's travel and tourism market is projected to reach revenues in the range of 23.37 billion US dollars by 2024, growing at over 7%. We cannot therefore argue with the reality that the IGAD region is uniquely positioned to benefit from the growth prospect. Each IGAD country, Djibouti, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia, South Sudan, and Uganda, is richly endowed with unique tourism assets. From, of course, Djibouti's stunning Lake Arthur and volcanic landscapes, to Kenya's world-renowned safari parks, to Uganda's mountain gorillas in windy, impenetrable forest. Eritrea also boasts the striking modernistic architecture of Asmara, while Somalia's rich coastline holds untapped potential for beach tourism. South Sudan offers the majestic beauty of Boma National Park and Sudan's ancient Nubian pyramids with enormous historical significance. There is also no reason why Ethiopia, with its rich cultural heritage and natural beauty, cannot be a tourism champion, not just in the region, but also globally. This is not a pie-in-the-sky dream when you consider the significant qualities of being the birthplace of coffee, home to, you call it Dinknesh, home to the Dinknesh, the Lucy, one of the oldest hominid skeletons ever found, and its rock-hewn churches that is known globally. But here, tourism is not just ecotourism. Tourism products need to be developed in all ranges, from sports tourism, health tourism, education tourism, entertainment, including music, and also the fashion show, and so many other products that can bring the people here. And that's how we can increase the numbers that we are looking for. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, the vision laid out in the master plan should not be insurmountable to achieve. It, however, requires international actions that will unlock the capabilities of the tourism sector to drive sustainable growth and development. To begin with, infrastructure development is crucial, as the Minister of Tourism just mentioned. Well-developed transport systems, especially air transport, improved connectivity, including broadband, hotels, conferences, infrastructure, and increased energy capacity remain central ingredients for the tourism sector to thrive. The importance of technological readiness cannot be overemphasized. It is pivotal for innovation, trade, skills, development, and ensuring operational efficiency. It is important, therefore, that we take advantage of the African Continental Free Trade Area because it offers win-win opportunities for regional tourism. When we expand logistics infrastructure, we increase volumes of trade, including within the tourism sector, meaning more resources for our own countries, including those here in IGAD. Finally, governments must leverage the productive potential of the private sector. The multiple crises African countries are confronting mean that governments alone cannot do development. But the private sector will need the right incentives for public-private partnerships that deliver results. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, yesterday we launched the Ethiopian Tourism Satellite Account. We have also launched similar for other countries. This is just one tool that the Economic Commission for Africa has developed to help countries measure their tourism contribution to GDP, employment, and investment, because data is the cornerstone for growth. We are also working with the governments to undertake de-risking analytics that will support better investment decisions. Thus, today's meeting is not just launching a plan. It is about building a coalition of stakeholders, from political leadership to private sector actors, and from regional to international partners, all of whom have a role to play in bringing this vision to life. There is no reason why we cannot compete with France's Eiffel Tower or the United States Statue of Liberty, which is no better than most of what you see here, even in this country itself. As such, effective implementation of the IGAD Sustainable Tourism Master Plan can ensure that the entire region flourishes as a top destination for global travelers. And the ECA remains fully committed to working hand in hand with governments and, of course, IGAD to turn this vision into reality. Finally, I would like to conclude with the pleasure of informing you that on 21st of this month, of the next month, October, Ethiopia will add another jewel to its tourism offerings with the re-inauguration of the Africa Hall, the birthplace of the Organization of African Unity, now the African Union, and a Pan-African symbol donated by Emperor Haile Selassie. You are all invited to this momentous occasion. Come join us as we rewrite history. Thank you very much for listening, and I look forward to receiving you.